Woo! The coffee is coffeeing this morning, and I need it. Good morning, everybody. Make sure that you stay tuned. Like it or not, is starting up next. Y'all know the voice, y'all know the sound. Your boy James Weber Williams is in the building. Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. Most dads only drink on days that begin with T. Tuesday, Thursday, today, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday. Like it or not, y'all, it's about to go down. Let's get this goddamn show started, man. Good morning, everybody. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not. With RebeccaAzor. Let's start this damn show. Yes, it's time for Like It or Not. With RebeccaAzor. Let's start this damn show. Like It or Not. RebeccaAzor is in the house. You know she got a funny story to tell. Talking politics, culture, or real life-ish. I live in life in the ATL. Benjamin, yeah, that's my man. He's always coming up with the master plan. Politics, scheming, or trying to find the meaning of life. And while the feds keeps us in strife. I'm your DJ. I really don't need no introduction right now, but you know what? I stay dropping them jams. Y'all know who I am. Good hope, dad jokes, culture-ish, politics. What you're hearing right now was the culmination of all of this. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes you feel great, makes you feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for Like It or Not. With RebeccaAzor. Let's start this damn show. It's time for Like It or Not. With RebeccaAzor. Let's start this damn show. Like it or not, y'all. 2023. Let's start this damn show. Let's go.
Like It or Not starts now.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Yeah, good morning and welcome to Like It or Not, where we're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it. I just realized that I have to do the damn song over again because it says 8 p.m. Friday. You know how we do? Like, what? WTF?
Yeah, well,
you remember that from last summer?
Yeah,
that whole thing.
Summer. We're going to a new.
We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that again. Okay.
No, we're going to a new summer, so we're not doing that. You could tell yourself we're not doing that.
I'm talking about you because you gonna make me like, Bubba still ain't changed the song.
Oh yeah, no, see, I wasn't gonna bring any of that up. Don't bring that energy from last year into this year because I know that you're gonna do right this year. I already knew that you was gonna do right on this year, so I wasn't even gonna mention it. Praise
that
God
song still got 2 months left, so I'm gonna go change it to 9 a.m. Saturday. You know how we do. Thursday, Tuesday, and Saturday, you know how we do.
10 a.m. Saturday, you know how we do.
10 a.m. Saturday, you know how we do.
Okay.
Because girl, thank you, David, for the wake-up call because, girl, when I tell you, I was in that good-ass sleep.
Right.
I was like, oh, wait a minute.
David, love you, mean it, right? But I already knew because of the ruckus last weekend. So we already knew who was doing it at the time. But thank you, David, for being the wake-up call. Thank you, David, for being our text message person. Thank you for being the designated driver on Saturdays for us. But listen, before we begin, I just, I couldn't, it wouldn't be right if I just didn't represent for the motherland if I just didn't represent, shout out to all my Zoes. It is Haitian Heritage Month. The
Stop, I
18th,
say.
the 18th was our Haitian Flag Day. And so I had to make sure I put I put it on. I put it on for my folks, because we put it on. All damn year we put it on, but something about May, right? Something about May. I know January 1st, that's our Independence Day, but the Haitian Flag Day, listen, ain't no relationship stronger than the Haitian and their flag. Ain't no relationship stronger than a Haitian and their flag. Okay.
Amen.
And so I just wanted to shout out to all of my Zoes, all of my Haitians. Happy Haitian Flag Day, weekend. Because look, Happy Haitian Flag Day was on the 18th, but we celebrated through the weekend, and we're gonna celebrate through the month. Because it's Haitian Heritage Month. Haitian Heritage Month as well. Not only was that, my birthday was on the 15th. So, I just feel like God knew. God understood. God knew when he created me that it was going to be in representation of full of everything. A strong, we hear you, buddy. A strong Black woman from, pulled right up under that Caribbean sun, right there, right? On the first country, right? The first Black country to ever rebel up against them folks and create our own. That's where my people from. IET straight up. And so I did drop a link. I did drop a link and I wanted you guys to get, I said I would show you guys on our last show what my birthday party or my birthday brunch looked like. It was a whole bunch of Haitians and the theme was Kentucky Derby. The Kentucky Derby, the other name for Kentucky Derby is Run for the Roses. And which I wanted to put in messaging in my life. I turned 33, Run for the Roses. We're running for a win. We're not in a race, but we're running for the roses. You're going forward. It's a representation of change, and that's where I'm at with it. So here's a view of my family and I at my birthday brunch, and this is our soul. Look, it's a whole bunch of stuff. Soul Train line full of Haitians doing Haitian dances, and in Kentucky Derby garb. So let's take a look. My nephew. There she goes.
Look at Rebecca.
You being all the extra.
Right, man. I love it though.
So play it from the beginning. I want to show you guys my brother though. My brothers in the beginning. I was looking damn good. Damn.
He was.
This is my brother Jonas. He is one of shout out to him. He is one of the HMI's biggest comedians. Which HMI is we call the whole HMI, even though it's not all music, but Haitian music industry. So the Haitian industry, the James and Jonas are some of the pioneers of Haitian comedy. That's my brother right there.
Right, man.
So, my cousin Sarah. But you see all the Haitian flags in the corner. We want to show the diversity and how we brought it together because it's Kentucky Derby. She's from Kentucky, and and I have the roses on my dress for representation of Run for the Roses. So yes, it was a good time. It was a good time.
Man, I hate I missed that. I hate I missed that.
Yeah.
Girl,
I hate that you missed it too because I was ready to see what was going on. But shout out to my Zoes. Listen, I be in the field with my Zoes as we wait for Ben's camera to come back up. Ben is a true supporter of the Zoes. I remember, he never has an issue eating our food. I remember my sister made on Poisson Wars, red snapper, and you don't eat everybody fish. Yeah. You just don't go to people's house and eat everybody fish.
You sure don't.
You just don't do that. But I'm gonna tell you about how Haitians prepare their fish or their seafood or anything like that. It's basically.
Was Sissy there? I didn't see her in the video. Was she there?
My nephews. Yep, she was there. Okay. But we prepare our meats a little different, and so we make sure that any seafood that we prepare doesn't have a seafood smell. Like it doesn't. You're gonna eat it and it's gonna be good. And Ben. Once I seen that he respected the food, I already knew what it was.
Shout out to all the Zoes. Shout out to the Zoes.
Like that's real.
I my first encounter because I was from Mississippi, so I didn't know what I had never met any Haitians until I went to move to Pompano back in '94. Now we Rebecca, we've talked about this a lot, like the relationship, black folks and then Haitians back in the day, we used to have Haiti Day, and it was just like, it just wasn't good. It wasn't good, but in high school, but it developed and we grew, and
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, so much love for the community now. You go down there and it's like, you go to Pompano, you go to South Florida, it is Zo capital. So shout out to all the Zos.
Because we done been through it. I feel like now, I'm not gonna lie, most of my fights had to do with me being Haitian growing up, and that was just from the ideas that were put into our communities about us as immigrants or people, especially in our community. And it's all good. It ain't all good. We went through it, but it built us. And look where we at now. I remember. I never forget, but I know where we at right now, and I would never change it. I remember people had to say back in the day, I'm not Haitian. And I'm like, girl, your mama go to my church, sis. I know you don't want to get beat down, but baby, your mama go to my church, and your daddy, he works out there with my dad. I don't know where a lot of people were afraid to claim because of the bullying. And I remember one day we had to come to school just because it was our Haitian flag day. Other people tried to fight us. SWAT team had to come, and we came with our flags. Wow. Yeah, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot. It was a lot. But now I'm really happy as our culture begins to grow, and we have the option to be at the forefront of what type of news is given and the rhetoric for Haiti and Haitian people. It's a lot of great culture, dance, like in music. Now you'll hear remnants, a little bit of compa inside. You hear that ding a ding a ding 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 a ding a ding ding. You'll hear that in some of the music now, because listen, compa to the world, baby. Listen, just follow me. Haiti has done it. We're like, we created that blueprint, for a lot. Like we really did. So when people try to disrespect us and talk about us being just weak or the poorest, we are a very resilient country, and because we had the audacity to step up and make our own from what was taken from us and create our own, let me tell you something. Everybody gonna be mad all the time. They're gonna try to have their foot on our necks, but each time we gonna celebrate, we gonna keep representing, and we gonna keep doing us with the best food in the entire world. Yes, sir.
I was with you till you said the best food in the entire world. And I absolutely love. Listen, I got nothing but rave reviews. I remember going to a compa club in West Palm Beach, and I don't know if but it was the best quesadilla I'd ever. It was just a cheese quesadilla, but it was literally the very best quesadilla I had ever had in my life.
A quesadilla. It was like
it was 2:00 in the morning. It was the let out. It was a let out club. You know what that is? Like, it was a let out. We had already left one club.
I'm like, that ain't no Haitian food. Not a quesadilla at a compa spot.
It was a compa club, Haitian owned, and they served me. I said, let me just get a quesadilla. They served me a cheese quesadilla. I swear, it's still the best quesadilla I've ever had in my life. So. That's all I got.
All right.
Quesadilla from a
That's
Haitian
hilarious.
spot.
It must have had
from a Haitian spot.
That's why you loved it. Earpieces are my.
They do everything well. Y'all do everything well.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, do everything well. I'm just playing. Rebecca, you caught it.
I caught it.
Got him. We'll leave it alone.
It'll come back. It'll come back. Okay, I'm on a makeshift computer.
Okay,
I'm on a makeshift computer.
So yes, we caught it. But Haitians, I'm about to be in the field with my Haitians. I'm moving. I'm coming home, y'all.
You moving back there?
You gotta get out of.
What a Haitian man! I'm
America.
coming home. DMs are open. Okay, DMs are open. Anywho, we are. It's a lot of news out here coming out. I know that I've been working, but Marjorie Taylor Greene said some things about Congressman Bowman.
Yeah,
and what happened in there? Was it because it was giving? She was giving white women tears, which can be very dangerous.
White woman tears.
You'll go ahead and let us know the story, but it just brings me back to that time when we covered during the beginning of the pandemic a trend on TikTok of full-on white women showing how they can be turn off their tears quickly, and they were crying and then they turned it off, and that was very scary, and it was a dangerous practice.
Yeah,
but we know
they thought that was. They thought that was cute because they could go viral doing it, but that was terrifying to anybody who has ever had to deal with white woman tears and the kind of impact that it has. What's the lady name that just died?
Carolyn Bryant.
Who's white woman
Carolyn
tears.
Bryant.
Thank you. So anyway, Marjorie Taylor Greene, she got into a confrontation with Jamal Bowman, who's a friend of the show. And we have clips of the confrontation, but more so than the confrontation, it's how she interpreted it later at a press conference. Later on at a press conference, she made it seem as though she was afraid of this big hulking black man. And let's see it for ourselves, and then let's see how she described it.
A small him because it saved the party. The party's hanging by a thread.
We gotta get rid of Biden.
The party's hanging by a thread. You gotta save the party. Listen, no more QAnon, no more MAGA, no more debt ceiling nonsense. Come on now, save the party, save America, save the children, do something about guns.
Right, support
Come
the
on,
border.
invest in
Support the
education.
border, save
The
children.
border is
What about
what
the
Trump
children?
left
Hey,
me. What are
where
you
are all the
talking
kids?
about?
Where are all the migrant
What
children?
kids?
You guys have
We're
lost
accepting
them.
them. We love
No,
them.
you've lost
We
them.
love the
There's
migrant
tens
children.
of
Why we
thousands
lost
missing.
them?
You can't find them.
What are you
That's
talking
your
about? What are
administration.
you talking about?
Yeah, migrant children missing. You don't know the news.
No, we don't know the news.
Oh, you
That's Fox
sadly
News.
listened before.
That's
Hey,
Fox
let me
News.
tell you
Listen,
something,
I
Jamal.
need you to
Not
save the
very
party.
smart. You should pay
Ooh, you little white.
Party.
She just he's not
Yeah.
Yes, she did. Bro. Oh,
reserve some of that energy. Jay. No. Okay, all right. So they're just having a listen. That's just a standard old confrontation that you have. They had cameras around them. They were both making their points. She was talking about impeach Biden. He was talking about you need to save your QAnon party and stop with all the craziness. Now that it should have ended there, matter of fact, but it didn't. This is how she went in front of the congressional press hearing. Right. This is what she said to make it seem like he was terrorizing.
There was not enough. I was swarmed. It's all on video. Everyone can see this. But I will tell you what's on video is Jamal Bowman shouting at the top of his lungs, cursing, calling me a calling me a white supremacist, which I take great offense to. That is like calling a person of color the N-word, which should never happen.
Girl, no, you didn't.
Equal to that, and that is wrong. Jamal Bowman was down there cursing at me, telling me to get the F out of there, and he was leading the mob right outside the vehicle I was sitting in. We have this all on video. And then on the Capitol steps yesterday, he was the one that approached me. Even CNN reported that. Yelling, shouting, raising his voice. He has aggressive his physical mannerisms are aggressive. And he just recently shoved Thomas Massey just outside the House chamber. I think there's a lot of concern about Jamal Bowman. So, and I am concerned about it. I feel threatened by him. He not only led a mob there, but his boisterous lies. And I'll tell you another thing he said outside there. He was saying, save your party. I kept telling him, no, save the country. It's not about political parties. We shouldn't care about political parties. We should care about the country, because no matter what our political beliefs are, Jamal Bowman, I don't know what his political beliefs are. I know what mine are, but we both swore an oath to serve the country here in Congress as representatives. So I am very concerned about Jamal Bowman, and he's someone that people should watch.
So real quick before y'all get into the conversation, dude, this happened to me at work, to where the rhetoric is big black man is being aggressive and he speaks with an aggressive tone. No, F, I'm confident and I know what the F I'm doing. So this same thing happened, and this is dangerous. This is dangerous as hell.
It's facts. I mean, I got nothing. Rebecca.
Becca's face. Look, I saw it.
It's interesting how she goes very conservative. She goes very professional. She starts to know how to speak in her role as a congresswoman all of the sudden. And that see, this is the way I say white people can do whatever they want in whatever space they want, how they want. Because I will never forget her flip-flopping like literally wearing flip-flops, and under her feet were filthy. And she's walking away saying how well, those kids died, and those are conspiracy theories. We don't even know if the mass murders were real. She was putting conspiracy theories out there, and people were believing it. That those murders of children, all the way down to Sandy Hook, she was reiterating Alex Jones's narrative and talking points for the kids. I think it was another school shooting where she was saying it may not even be real. This is the same person that put out conspiracy theories about children being murdered so that she can protect gun rights. And now she turns around and tries to be professional, saying that she was approached on the Capitol steps, the same Capitol steps as her people ran up on January 6th.
Say it.
Okay. All right.
Facts.
She's talking about, it's the Capitol steps. Like, this is a place of what you and your folks ran up on January 6th, threatening your colleagues. I can't take this seriously. But the fact that she can sit there and turn it on like that is wild.
Yeah.
If nobody knew who she was and just went off of the clip today, you would believe it. Because in America, we coddle those type of people. We just there's a video that went viral of a woman who was coming from a nurse who was coming from trying to get one of them scooters, and a young black boy was on it.
We got to talk about that too.
Yeah, she screwed. We're going to get into that, but she's screaming help and crying. And that's what it looks like here when I'm looking at Marjorie Taylor Greene with two colleagues having a conversation, right, on different parts of the spectrum. You're going to have an argument where you're going to have, especially now, there's going to be a camera everywhere we go. So you don't get to walk around talking about it's a conspiracy when we know for sure that kids have died so that you can protect gun rights, and then sit here and say that this black man doesn't get to have a say so when he's fighting for children and their lives and different. So when y'all having conversation, especially she was in his face too.
Come on.
None
of that matters though.
Over in his face, and then at the end of the conversation, only to tell him he's not very smart, and then she was taking jabs at him as well, and then had the nerve to get up on here and say to watch him. He's somebody that we should watch. No, we should have watched her when she made statements, and then they made statements against children who were murdered, hurting their families, making people believe that they were conspiracies, so that we would not be fighting for children's lives or other people's lives, and we won't find solutions to mass murders here. She also is anti-LGBTQIA+. Remember when I think she had that colleague who moved in the hallway near her, and she bullied them down by putting up different posters and stuff that were anti-LGBTQIA+. Like, let's not forget who this person is. So she doesn't get to turn on her professionalism and say that she feels like she's not protected. She's been bullying people. She's been putting out terrible conversation points or talking points, and then leading the charge of people on January 6th. I ain't never forget. And he's the one that we should be watching.
Come on.
Oh, and let's not forget the main thing. White supremacist is almost the N-word.
And
the hell you say?
Is the group of white supremacists a marginalized group?
Let them tell it. That's what they're trying to do. Rebecca, you hit on something so important. The fact that if you just tuned into Marjorie Taylor Greene, if an alien came down today and watched the news just that one day, they would look at her and think, she's a reasonable human being. When she is the barbarian of all savages, of all Neanderthals, like she is the bottom feeder. You talked about how dirty her feet were. She's the quintessential dirty foot of politics. Like at the end of the day, she is trying her best to move away from being this like rabid, animal creature that she is, and trying to be taken seriously as a politician. Here's the problem. Republicans are letting her be taken seriously. Right? They're letting people like George Santos be taken seriously. The Republican Party does not care how utterly brain dead or ridiculous or racist their party is. And so for her, this is her opportunity. And she knows that this is a season where all of these white folks in this country, they're gearing up. I don't know how much y'all are tuned into like the re-rise of this white supremacy. It's not the first time. It's like the Renaissance is coming back. And all over the country, you have white people white conservatives particularly, who are scaring their audiences. They're trying to make their audiences fear Black people even more than this country already does. And so she gets up there with this real soft approach and saying, like, I'm just concerned. We should keep an eye on him, because she understands that's where the country is, or at least that's where her party is. That's where white conservatives are right now. They are trying to make their audience terrified of Black people. And she's getting away with it because, well, I mean, they allow the village idiots to come into that party and take over. She's running it.
But Ben, I have to disagree with you, Ben.
What's
the
that?
aliens will zap her ass right out of the sky. I'm sorry. They'll zap her ass when they.
I hope they do, man.
She'll be the first one.
Man, listen. Come on, I'm counting on. Listen, I have never been so in favor of our alien overlords coming to just come and take over, man. Because if Marjorie, between the aliens and Marjorie Taylor Greene, you can give me the xenomorphs. I'll take the xenomorphs all day.
Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen this. It's an old movie. George Clinton narrated it. George Clinton, Funkadelic, narrated it, where the aliens came.
Funkadelic.
Funkadelic. Yeah, George Clinton of the Funkadelic. Yeah, you know, Funkadelic. Rebecca, you too young for that. But it was a short movie, but the aliens came, and what they did, they took all the Black people into the mothership because that's where they belong, and they left all the white people here. And it was like everything was destroyed.
That was the rapture.
Yeah, the rapture. And then, like, when I saw that, I'm like,
that was
like this shit.
Hey, I want us to play, before we change stories, I do want to play the one response from Jamal Bowman, because he summarized it pretty good. David, if you have that clip ready, run that real quick. This is Jamal Bowman, Congressman Jamal Bowman.
No, I did not. I allowed the process to play itself out.
Resign!
What do you have to say to those?
Save yourself!
Like I said, if I could understand you over my colleagues screaming here, the reality
New
is
Yorkers need better. You gotta go, man. Come on. Son.
How's your ethics play going? Aren't you?
How your drag going?
Is he?
Man.
Come on. Look, I can't continue
how's indictment
to
going?
because there's a deranged member here, so I'm gonna watch.
Congressman, when you look at that, do you have any regrets for doing that, for yelling at him in that way?
No, come on now. CNN, y'all tripping now. Listen, that was, first of all, he should resign or be expelled because of the laws that he is being accused of breaking, the violations, and lying to his constituents. That's number one. Number two, why even frame a question in that way? Because that feeds into the Trump
No,
voice.
I disagree.
Listen.
I think it's a fair question, and here's why. Dialogue and debate, I hear you. Wanting him to resign, I hear you. But yelling at him to resign when he's talking at reporters is, in terms of decorum and behavior, a different thing.
Oh, sweetie.
Which is fine, and I think it's okay, but I do think it's a fair question.
So hold on a second. So when we talk about decorum, okay, he allegedly falsified campaign finance documents and stole from people.
Come on.
All right?
Yep.
That is a despicable act.
Yes.
We should be outraged by that. When I was yelling at Representative Massey about guns killing children, we should be outraged by that. Listen, raising my voice is a sign of passion and intensity. It's not a sign of anger or hate or rage or anything that should make anyone feel uncomfortable. The majority of support that I hear from my district, people are excited that finally elected officials are expressing passion and expressing discontent and rage for the things that aren't moving in Washington. Washington takes 1,000 years to move on common sense legislation like gun control. And that frustrates the American people. The American people want to see action, and they appreciate passion. We should all be passionate about things, but be respectful and loving at the same time, which is exactly who I am, and it's exactly what
I get it, and I don't want to keep belaboring the point, but I mean, I'm saying, talking over someone.
Mr.
We can stop it. That's a good place to stop.
Let me tell you.
Good. We don't want to hear her ass. No way.
I'm gonna say this. I've been watching her since I was a little thing. As I was developing through journalism school myself. I remember when she first came on. She was a little thing too, young woman. And I've watched her develop and go through. And I haven't seen her. I guess she's trying to pick up with Don Lemon energy here. But Don Lemon would have gotten this point together. He would have said, Don Lemon would have been like, brother, I feel you, because he understands that the black man, sweetie, it's not belaboring the point. It's because he has to fight for his image. He has to make sure that while you ask that question and ask him, was he embarrassed by what he did? You have to understand he's fighting for people not to look at him as some aggressive person because he's fighting for the rights, which I just literally said. Every point that he made, we just talked about. He is fighting for the rights of children, or excuse me, I'm saying rights, the life of children, for them to have the right to live, because it's stolen from them, because the other people in the other party are fighting for the very thing that is murdering our children. So you see that passion that comes up in here? That's because children should not be murdered for free.
Hello?
When it can be stopped, when there can be solutions and resolutions and protections over them. So the passion comes from the constant fighting and nobody's listening or doing anything because it's getting worse. When will it stop? So yeah, the passion is going to be right here, but I'm a black man, so it's not going to look like passion to everybody else, especially you, Miss Ma'am, asking that type of question, because you wouldn't ask Marjorie Taylor Greene that type of question, huh? You wouldn't do it. Your counterpart white woman, you wouldn't do it. Because you would say, as a woman, she should never been spoken to that way. Although her talking points are getting babies killed. Stop playing with me. And it was, hold on, Ben. And it was unbecoming of her. Unbecoming of her to sit here and tell him that he was belaboring a point, to say, like, okay, now, like, basically tell him, don't come at her crazy. There's a difference between what she said, a debate and a argument, or whatever she said, a dialogue. Sweetie, it's not a debate. What you're doing right now, you're adding to those talking points that are very, very dangerous for a black man. He is he's not aggressive for fighting for people. He's not aggressive for raising his voice, because if he's not going to be soft-spoken about things that have been soft-spoken about before and nothing has been done about it.
Facts. He's
in this position to fight. And that's what the constituents want. And he came with his statistics for it, sweetie. Sorry, Ben.
Well, child, you got to let me talk when I don't even remember what I was about to say. I'm getting old around here. I agree with everything you said, though. I agree with everything.
Right.
No, I'm dead. I don't even know what I was going to say.
But and y'all see the rhetoric is, somebody just said it in the chat, how they never say anything when Taterhead Green ass talk over people, and they don't never talk about decorum and all of that stuff. But now y'all want, as soon as a black man do it,
she would never say
act like an orangutan. Did y'all see her at the State of the Union when she had on that white fur-ish thing that she was wearing? She looked like a straight baboon up there, yelling and screaming like a mad person. So, this whole conversation about civility, you cannot ask us to be civil with uncivil people. You cannot ask us to be reasonable with unreasonable people. They are psychopaths on the other side of the aisle. And I don't like to use ableist language, but the kind of things that they're doing to this country, they do not deserve our respect. They don't deserve our civility. We need to respond in kind, because they are trying to go even further than we are right now. Marjorie Taylor Greene needed a pardon because of how much she participated in the insurrection during January 6th. She is still doing the same kind of thing. So why should we be civil with people who are trying to overthrow this country?
The protection in that conversation was right there. It was not for the people. It wasn't understanding the conversation. It wasn't a healthy dialogue. It wasn't a healthy debate, because what she asked him had nothing to do with why did you feel the need to be so passionate? It wasn't that. It was, were you embarrassed? Do you have any regrets, basically?
And then not even the question about, like, I don't know where if they got to the conversation about supremacy the same as the N-word. The question to ask, right? That's the question to be had, because they are ultimately trying to make it. What did Elon Musk say on Twitter? Calling someone a racist or calling them a white supremacist should be illegal, or something along those lines. They're trying to make it so that they could be as racist as they want to be without any accountability. But that's not what they're asking Jamal Bowman about. CNN is asking him about, why did he raise his voice?
That's what pisses me off so bad. And it angers me, because I see what they call healthy. What they call healthy is not. It's what they call journalism. And as they remove in mainstream media people who are necessary in the space, we get this. And she's been here for a long time. We watched her have her kids. We just know her life. But white women will protect white women for the always, forever and always. And so there was no understanding. I don't know how far the conversation got, but the only reason why I would think that Jamal, everybody's going to look at him as somebody who's overly passionate. But when you are seeing what you're seeing and you're in position to possibly be able to change something.
Yeah, they take our passion as a sign as aggressiveness. Same boat.
And that's on purpose.
And
it's
on purpose. Yeah, definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. So for me in my house, we rooting for everybody black. Not everybody, not all of them.
Most of them anyway.
But Candace Owens can fall off a cliff. But
Candace Owens could go jump off a cliff.
Now, Jamal Bowen is right here, and we rooting for him. Because what you're not going to do is what you try to do with those Tennessee representatives or lawmakers and keep trying to scare us out of positions with little things. Oh, my God. They fought for children's lives. I feel threatened. When your whole crew of people rented buses in the masses to go attack our country's representative, stole documents, bullied their colleagues. Like, what are we doing? So
setting the stage for them to take over, and you know that's what CNN is doing. Listen, we can't even. CNN is the new Fox News. They're owned by a Republican billionaire, mega donor, and they've just. I mean, they were never like good, but now they are trying to be like Fox News. So I guess we should just expect more of this from CNN, and they're going to keep doing what they can to amplify, make America great again, MAGA. So that's where we are.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, I'm glad we have people like representation like Jamal Bowman, and I hope that he keeps on doing what he needs to do in these positions. It's not like he's trying to be seen. It's not like he's trying to be recorded, but he's checking people who are being recorded and giving, like, come on now. Oh boy, Santos, Santos. We don't even know if that's his real name, but his name today is, George Santos, and he's out here. He was picked to be representation for us. Who's checking him? I haven't seen people really checking him as they should. And so, yes, I want to. Yeah. Speaking of protection, I want to cover that story really quickly of the young black boy. If you grab that video for me, David. Of the young black boy who was on that scooter.
You're talking about the story out of New York where I believe it was New York, where the nurse got into the confrontation with the two black men who were trying to get the bike. This story has gone extremely crazy since it originally came out. They are now pushing, they being conservatives, the right wing in this country, they're trying to push and say that she actually rented the bike first and she has receipts for it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. There's a newspaper in New York, a media company called the New York Post. They are also like Fox News. They are almost identical in terms of how they cover stories from a right-wing perspective. What they did was they took the word of her attorney saying that she rented the bike first, et cetera, et cetera. And then they ran a story saying that she rented the bike first. And now the entire narrative in the country is, oh, no, this is a fake story. This is fake outrage. She was actually right. And these guys were wrong. But as you look at the video, notice what actually happens here. Two things happen. She never said that she rented the bike first.
Thank you. Thank you, Ben.
If we look at the video, people got mad because of her fake tears. Didn't we?
Yeah.
Watch the video. Let's watch.
Help! Help me! Please help me! This is not your bike. Please help me! This is not your bike. This is not your bike. Please help me! Help! Please get off me! Hey, what the f is going on, bro? Yo, don't take it, bro. Now you're not getting the bike, bro. Hey, now you're not getting the bike. Help! You're not getting the bike.
Why you took his phone? What's wrong with you?
Don't touch his phone. Do not touch his phone. I'm not touching you. You putting your stomach on my head.
No, dude, stop. No, dude, stop. No. I said no. I said sit down.
Please.
She's just crying.
You're not crying. You're not crying. I got your video. Wait, you put it out? Hey, Hassan, you put it out? Hassan, you put it out?
This is my bike. It's on my account. Please move.
All right, so why don't we reset the bike?
I'm not resetting the bike.
It's his.
Reset it. I'm gonna pull it out on your account.
You're an actor. That's just my bike. Crying. Stop stay crying.
Hey, stop touching me. I don't touch you.
Hold up.
Hey, stop touching me. Stop touching me.
Why don't you take this bike?
Stop touching me.
I will. Exactly. So take
out of here.
So take it.
The baby gonna come out with
wait, how you stop crying? Not a tear came down, miss.
Look at that.
Not a tear came down.
Did you hear her say did you hear her say, I rented this?
Nope.
I paid for this. I was here first. You never heard her say any of this, right? But after it went viral, her attorney, the New York Post said, we have receipts. Now, the New York Post didn't actually post the receipts showing that her time or the other people's time, the time, that, but all it took was the headline from the New York Post, which is just like Fox News, and they said she actually had a receipt.
What we're seeing here is exactly what I discussed, how dangerous it can be. And you guys, she was with child. My goodness. Do you know how dangerous that is for a little black boy to be here fighting for himself with this woman who can turn off her tears, turn them on, be aggressive with them, and then cry for help when a white man pulls up so that she doesn't look like she did anything wrong. And then I want you guys to understand what happened. There's so many things that happened here. The boy said, it's under my name. It's my bike. It's under my name. She's like still trying to take it. And then his friend is saying, just give it to her, man, because he knows what can happen. He knows the consequences that where this can go, either death or jail or whatever. He understands. He's like, just give it up, man. Let's not keep fighting. Just give her the bike. It's not that serious. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. I bought this bike. I'm not going to do that. Then a white man approaches, gets on the phone. We don't know who he's talking to. Probably already called the police. Didn't know anything. Just saw a black young boy with a white woman who was crying for help as she saw him. And so what he tells the young black boy to do is just to reset it, although it's under his account, to reset it and give it to her. To give her what she wants, although he purchased the bike. We have to just give them what they want because they asked for it. And they're throwing tantrums because we're not giving it to them. So just give it. Give it up. There's so much stuff to unpack in this.
It's the
and
fake
the fact
tears.
that the representation, her representation pulled out a commentary or a statement that said that she didn't do anything wrong. So that's what everybody needs to go with. We've seen that with Jordan Neely, young man that was murdered, strangled to death on a subway in New York. And so we saw that when the murderers, I think Daniel Penny's attorneys put out a statement. Everybody went with that. And the statement basically said, Jordan Neely had mental issues. He was a psycho. So what? He needed to die. And we see what I'm saying? Like, no, we're not gonna go with that. What we saw on that camera, what we saw on that footage is a little boy fighting for his rights, fighting for what was his. I'm not gonna bow down to a pregnant white woman who wants to turn her tears on and then turn them off, scream for help, and then cry when a white man approaches. That's very scary.
Yeah, and then y'all see the little random white guy gonna walk up to her white ass after I guess he's trying to do something. Are you gonna be a good Samaritan and try to get your 15 minutes of fame? If you don't get on somewhere, please. I'm sorry. I'm agitated. It's hell because that pissed me off so much. Because these are three black guys that's minding their business that you didn't charge you. I didn't pay for this shit. Get the F away from me.
They're so tired of us having these conversations. I was actually talking to a lady the other day, and I'm like, I'm tired of having these conversations too. I'm tired of being angry. I'm tired of being upset.
Yeah.
But when we should be able to have these conversations in the way that we would like. It can't just be the way that I think her name is Sunny or whoever on CNN or whatever her name is that we just watched. Or it starts with a B. I don't know. With her.
Oh, Aaron Burnett. Aaron Burnett. Yeah.
Aaron Burnett. Okay. It can't be like the way that she wants the conversation to be led. We should be able to have our own spaces where we have the correct conversations. And the conversation is, this is dangerous for Black people to be called thugs, right? To be saying that they're aggressive, for white women to be able to turn on their tears or turn on their sadness or turn on the woe is me, but then they can be bullies and aggressive. In that video, we saw her pushing,
right?
Even though she's pregnant, we saw her pushing, taking his property. I ain't even talking about the bike. I'm talking about his phone.
Yep.
It can be dangerous. Police officers can come and seeing a white woman who is pregnant. We know how NYPD is. Let's keep it 100. We know how NYPD is. Pulling up on that scene could have been very tragic. It could have been very tragic, even for the young brothers, telling him just give up the bike. Like, let's be honest.
Right.
So these are the conversations that we're having, and these are the ones that we should be having. Nobody's going to tell us if we're embarrassed about our actions. Nobody's going to tell us if we should have rethought what we did in that moment. Nobody's going to tell us that just because that white lady can afford representation, who puts out a lie, dresses it up to make her look like she was abused and hurt. Nobody's going to get to tell nobody's going to get to tell the story in that one way. When we have it on video, and when we have platforms like this where we can have the actual conversation to discuss what the problem really is.
Right.
I don't want to be angry anymore. I want to tell you what the problem is. You don't tell us how to have these conversations.
Honestly, it's not that I'm tired of talking about these things. It's that if something don't change soon, especially white conservatives, they are working themselves into a frenzy, right? They are trying to make themselves delirious and enraged, and they're honestly trying to start as much violence as they can. I mean, when conservative media got a hold of this story, and they got hold of the false narrative that was put out by the New York Post and by her attorney, they turned this into a story of, we have to protect white women. Literally that phrase, we have to protect white women from these barbarians, from these thugs. And so they're using this along with every other story. They did it. I mean, God, you mentioned Jordan Neely. They did it with homeless, hungry, mentally ill man who was begging for food and something to drink. And then they said the person who killed him was a good Samaritan. So they're flipping everything on its head, and they're having to do that because, well, their followers will believe it. They will look at the same video that we just looked at. They will look at the fake tears. They will see how ridiculous of an actress that she was being, and they will still say the Black guys were wrong.
Yep. Always. It makes you wonder, it's like, what else can we do? It's just like, you remember, I'm not going to say years back, you remember how it used to be when you're a Black man walking down the street and a white woman walking with her pocketbook, and they'll do that pull close to you.
Clutch it.
They're clutching. It seems like we're getting back to that right now. I mean, beforehand it seemed like chilled out. I guess it never really chilled. It
never went anywhere.
It just got worse.
Yeah. I walked by a white woman, and I could be having on the biggest brand bag, and I walk by a white woman, and either she stares at me and looks at me like I'm some kind of Amazon, and they'll make a comment like, "Wow, you're beautiful, girl." Stop. But I walk by white women, and they'll take their child or whatever belongings that they have and push it a little closer to them. And when they you know what I'll do? I'll go walk in the same lane. And as they start to get closer to me, I'll grab my items too, and I'll hold them a little closer. And listen, I'll be on the phone, and I'll be like, I just don't like when people get in my space. Oh yeah, I'll make them uncomfortable too. You're not gonna make me. If you try to make me uncomfortable, baby. I've been here. Look, because I'm 33 now. I done been here 33 years. If you think I'm new to this, I'm very true to this. I'm very true to this experience. Okay, so that's not, Bubba. It never went anywhere. But we take it even before Emmett Till. But Emmett Till is a popular story that people try to wash away like it never happened. He could have been alive today very well in his 60s, 50s or something like that. He would have been, he still would have been like somebody to be able to tell a story. Listen to me. That woman had the opportunity to live her life after she cried, or after whoever, I don't know,
whole life.
After she got to live a life, have children, remarry, move somewhere, be protected. The man that was fighting for her they ain't even stay together. And Emmett Till's mom had to join a movement. She had to become an activist and died fighting for her son's justice. His memoriam, it was in Alabama. His memoriam, it was Alabama, right? There's a memoriam for him, and it's in some town near where he died, and it gets shot up every day. They had to put up a
that's in Mississippi actually, but yeah, I know what you mean.
See, I always put the two together, so I already said this before, not because they're both country states. It's just I just put the two together.
Hey. I've lived in both Alabama and Mississippi.
Right. So but no, they eat the justice. People hate so bad that story is a thing, that it happened, that it's real, and that the Black community wants to keep it in our history so that we know when we see it happening in another form today, it's because it's never been dealt with from before. They're shooting up his memoriam.
That's right.
So they had to put a bulletproof casing over it.
If you want to extend it a little further, I saw a comment in the comment section. I believe it was Tiger saying that they were fueling the anxiety behind the race war that they want to start. I'm thinking about Jacksonville, Florida. There were 3 white men who hunted down a Black man and killed him behind a dumpster. I'm thinking about all the stories like this that are happening around the country right now, not before. Like you said, Rebecca, it's like we didn't deal with it before. We let it lie. We let it get quiet. We let a couple of Black people get in positions of power. We even had a Black president. But as soon as they saw we had a Black president, it's like they were like, oh, hell no. They flipped it, and now we're living in a time where they are actually carrying out acts of violence, killing Black folks, and getting away with it, mind you, getting away with it. There's another story of the young 13-year-old. I think his name was Shinzei. I have to get the right pronunciation of his name, who was killed not by a police officer. It was a time where you could, a police officer kill you, and then we'll have our protests, and maybe we get justice, maybe we won't. We're not even at that part anymore. We're at the part where random white folks are hunting Black folks down, killing them, and getting away with it. So yeah, no, it's because we literally did not deal with this the first couple times we came around this level of hatred and white supremacy. We let it rest, we let it lie, and now we're dealing with it all in our faces every day.
Yep.
And that's where it is. That's where we are with it. I'm just, if somebody tells me it's not happening, I'm not going to fight them on it. I'm just going to say it is. I have nothing else to fight about. This is as far as somebody who says it was 50 years ago. It was 100 years ago. It was there's people who are 100 years living, and somebody's life was taken because they felt threatened by a Black person who just was walking by them. Tired of it. People, who, we'll get to this next story. People like Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, who who's pushing for laws to end equality and like equal rights and diversity, like anything that has to do with that in the schools. So you can't even really have diversity and inclusion or anything like that in schools. I think one school already applied it. I think it was the University of Florida or something like that. And this man is representation for Florida. This is a leader in Florida who has a particular issue with Black people. Look at his bills. 6-week abortion ban, ended concealed weapons permits, and children will continue to die. Ban gender affirming care for trans youth. Restricted drag shows while children are dying because of guns. Expanded don't say gay law. Blocked this is it. Blocked the AP African American Studies, and he prohibited the vaccine mandates. This is who wants to allegedly be somebody who will run for presidency, allegedly. And
with a supposed announcement coming next week for that run.
Now we know where Disney World is. We know Disneyland, but we know Disney World. Disneyland is in Cali. Disney World, Florida. That's where its home is, Florida. And so now they're canceling the Walt Disney Co. is canceling plans to build a nearly $1 billion office complex in Florida.
Yep.
And where it can move more than 2,000 jobs to the state. So Disney Parks chairman Josh D'Amaro told employees in an email Thursday that the company had decided not to move forward with the massive office complex in Orlando because of new leadership and changing business conditions. The announcement comes a week after Disney CEO Bob Iger said an ongoing dispute with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis raised questions about the company's continued investments there. In a conference call with analyst Iger and said actions by DeSantis and Republican lawmakers amounted to campaign of government retaliation against Disney. Last year, DeSantis signed a bill stripping the company of self-governing authority over its 40 square mile property near Orlando after former Disney CEO Bob Chapek pledged to help overturn a law or a state law banning discussions of sexual orientation and gender identity in schools. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack there, but basically he's arguing with folks and he's taking away jobs.
Yeah.
Taking away business deals. I mean, I thought Florida was just really about capitalism. I mean, they are, but he is so strong and gun-ho with the last name DeSantis about upholding white supremacy. Your name is Ron. Probably ain't even Ron. Ronaldo.
Ben, we can't hear you, Ben.
Ben, we can't hear you.
It's Ronald Dion DeSantis is his real name, his whole name. Ronald Dion DeSantis.
Ronald.
Wait.
Dion.
His middle name Dion?
His middle name is straight up Dion. He's actually a third generation Italian. His grandparents lived here illegally for a couple of years before they actually became American citizens. So, I mean, Ron DeSantis, you need to go back to where you came from, guy.
Ronaldo DeSantis.
Dion. Who hood you been in, Dion?
Ronaldo Dion DeSantis. Your name isn't Bob Chapek. Bob Iger.
He's doing his best. He's doing his best to get accepted by the Sons of the Confederacy. He's not even American for real, like descendant. He's third generation at best.
That's yesterday.
But he's trying to, come on. He's trying to pretend as though he's been here and he's committed to the Confederate South, which is why he's doing all the racist things that he's doing on top of everything else. But you know what? They don't care. The white supremacists don't care. They'll accept him into their ranks so long as he does all the racist things that they want.
Yep. And I just hope that everybody realizes, like, come on, man, y'all see these bills that he wants and just know if he becomes president. I just hope America is not dumb enough to make this vote. They already did one time. And I'm just like, the faith that I have in this country shows me that
America
is highly possible. Like Beyonce said, America has a problem.
America. Shout out to the remix. But shout out to the remix. Kendrick Lamar. But America is dumb
as dishwater.
Remy Ma says, are you dumb? Yes, America is just dumb. And the dumbest, the people that
as dumb as Marjorie Taylor Greene.
The states that are the dumbest, are unfortunately, I'm from one of them.
Oh, but don't throw my Mississippi and Alabama in there.
Nah, Florida. Look, all of us got dealers in Florida, and it's just like, damn, in the past few years, I have been regretting the hell out of it.
Florida is dumb.
Florida man and Florida woman.
Florida man and Florida woman. Then we move over to Georgia, right?
That's not good.
Because Georgia gonna do whatever Florida do.
Yeah.
Georgia does anything. Georgia follows Texas and Florida. Whatever they do, Georgia's gonna be like, hey, can I? So how did you do that? Could you send me over those notes? Could you screenshot that and send it to me, please? Let's see how we can follow that. All right. And so we're looking at these states are dumb. They're dumb. And then we have Eric Adams, a representation in what was supposed to be the most diverse little city. He's a black man that's giving Cameron, whatever his name is out of Kentucky, Cameron such and such. What's his name?
You talking about Tim Scott?
Daniel Cameron.
Oh, Daniel Cameron.
Daniel Cameron, yes.
Daniel
So he's giving that energy. Eric Adams is in position, but you a former cop.
No, I felt that in my spirit. Say that again, Rebecca.
I don't like
bro.
You push points that are very dangerous to your own community. Daniel Cameron, Get Out, the movie. That's him. That's him.
F12.
I got so much to say about that. That Uncle Ruckus looking Daniel Cameron. He's running for governor of Kentucky, and he has a good chance of winning because he's a part of the McConnell. You guys know the turtle from Senate. He's been groomed and trained to be the next Mitch McConnell. He's just a black guy. He's a black man who did everything he could to make sure that the murderer of Breonna Taylor got away with it. And the murderer of Breonna Taylor did, in fact, get away with it. So,
right.
Yeah, Rebecca, I don't know why you brought him up because we need to do a whole series on that.
Because he's running for governor. And Eric Adams is the mayor of New York City. And in one of the hottest places during the pandemic, where we saw a lot of abuse towards black people. This
next
could be
Clarence
the governor.
Thomas.
Ron DeSantis is the governor in Florida. Daniel Cameron will be pushing the talking points if he wins, but he'll be the diversity pick. It doesn't help us, is what I'm saying. So, Ronaldo DeSantis.
Ronaldo.
And look,
he's more Mussolini than he is Robert E. Lee, but he definitely wants that Robert E. Lee crowd. He wants that
Daniel
Confederate
Cameron. Lil Danny. Okay, Lil Danny from up the street.
Let's name down. You got just thinking about it. Tim Scott, Daniel Cameron, what's the Eric Adams, Clarence Thomas. This guy, damn boy, this.
You got that lieutenant governor out of South Carolina, the big black guy who's a preacher who
got his name
doing racism.
Oh, I forgot his.
You got Byron Donalds from Georgia. No, he's from Florida. Byron Donalds is from Florida. You got a lot of step and fetchery going on.
Yeah, a lot of Uncle Tom foolery going on here.
We can do the Mount Rushmore.
Kunta Hotel.
So, anywho, it's a whole bunch, and these are the representations, the diversity and inclusion picks. So, white folks on the right or who are against marginalized communities could still have their diversity and inclusion picks. Yet,
that's right.
We can no longer have that as an option for other people or for schools or to everyone else. They can only be the ones to utilize that. They keep it to themselves. To say that so they can continue to say, I'm not racist. We're not racist. Look who we have as a leader.
Look, fascism, this white supremacy fascism is going to be extremely diverse. They have gotten really good at paying a couple of Negroes some coins. And don't get me wrong, listen, if anybody knows what it is to be poor, you understand people do something strange for some change. I just don't know that I'm going to sell out my soul, but they have found plenty of black people who will do the work of white supremacy. They will get on television. They will run for office. They will go and march. White supremacy is going to be extremely diverse. And you're right, Rebecca, they're trying to strip us away from having a diverse society. Their diverse society is one where you got a lot of black folks who do the bidding of massa.
We don't have diversity and inclusion picks. We just know that we're real diverse over here. We're multicultural over here.
Amen.
So, black content, but watched by everybody. I love to see it. I love to see it.
Come on.
I love to see it.
Come on. Let's talk about that. Talk about that, Rebecca.
Because let me tell you something. That's what you call diversity. We don't have to try to what we're talking about here are issues, and they may be it's from black people, about what other people have done to black people or are doing to black people, and how we need to stop it. But I love how we can get a very diverse audience who understands that this is an issue, it's an ongoing issue, and which should be spoken about. So this is listen, I love it here. I love it here, and you will too. So invite your friends, your mammy, your pappy, your cousin, and them. And before we get out of here, another diverse thing, something really inclusive, something that they said they will not, no ageism here. Martha Stewart. Martha.
Oh yeah,
Stewart. Yeah. Okay, she said, "I'm out here." They put her on the cover of Sports Illustrated. All right, let's take a look. Okay, yes, this is Martha Stewart,
81-year-old.
And this is the only. Don't tell me it's the only pic you got, because Martha was in her bag.
In her bag.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Martha said, "Martha Yonsei
Baby
Stewart."
He said, "Martha Yonsei."
Martha said, "This is who I am as a person." Martha said,
look at the horse guy in the back.
Listen, right. A man on a horse, and look at her. Martha did time. Let me tell you about this. This white woman utilized all her privilege.
Yeah.
Okay.
She'd have been in jail.
She did time and still kept what I thought she had was a vineyard, and it wasn't. But she did time, kept her brands, partnered with other people like Snoop Dogg and Dogg.
Like Snoop Dogg. Oh my God.
This is what being a white woman can get. And we know she's shaped like an old, those women of a certain age.
She looks good for her age.
But she looked damn good. I like to see it. I like her. She's giving representation to the white woman. But I'm just showing you white woman power, what it can get you. Yeah. Look at that.
Now I mess with Martha because Martha is a straight up weed head, and I love it, and I'm here for it. Between her and Sarah Silverman, allegedly she be smoking with Snoop on the show all the time. They be smoking on that goddamn show, high as hell.
I don't trust that she does, but I like that she puts the idea out that she does. She's a brand queen. Okay.
Yes, she is.
One thing about Martha. Okay, Martha. Let me give her a middle name that's black.
Right, Tiger.
Let me give her Martha. A Haitian. No, let me give her Martha Marie Stewart.
Oh,
Martha Marie Stewart.
She's straight from Port-au-Prince now. Go
okay,
on.
Right.
Martha. Okay, Martha Marjorie, Magdalene, Manushka. Okay,
yeah, I mess with Martha. That's one white woman. Me. But she one of them. Mimi. There you go. Martha Mimi Stewart.
Okay. Listen, she's out here. But I ain't even
banging.
The things are singing and they hanging and swinging. And baby, she said, "Listen,
she said, I ain't using no tape to prop up nothing. What you see?
Not a damn.
Ain't nothing about to do that. Okay, baby, we keep them up.
Tape, we ain't gonna talk about tape, but I was about to say, shout out to Janelle Monáe and Lipstick Lover. That's all I'm gonna say. If you don't know,
shout out to Janelle Monáe.
Yeah. If you don't know, you better ask somebody.
I love her. I mean that with everything in me. That's my shorty. Yeah. If you haven't, I've seen it, and then if you haven't, go watch it.
Either liked my tweet one time or retweeted me one time. I don't know what it was, but Janelle Monáe did something that gave me some attention, and I feel special still.
There was a connection
10 years later.
All right. Well, Janelle is beautiful. I love her. I absolutely love her. People get upset with her way of life, but she has a song called Float, which gets me through my day when I feel like people try to put me in a box. She recently dropped that one, Float. It's a good song. Check it out.
You talk about Float, girl. No, let's move on to the other song. What is it? It's not the name of the album. I think is Lipstick Lover. I thought it
was a single too.
Is it a single? I can't remember. All I know is
she's somebody who doesn't care right now. And I
don't even as a gay black man, I'm gonna say it. She made me rethink my whole lifestyle. I'm like, those are like really pretty. Like, I have never seen us. Oh, damn. Can I?
Hey, James, she almost set you straight, bro.
She almost set me straight. And I've been rocking with Janelle Monáe like since
long time.
The beginning, since the Android Saga CDs and everything.
Android,
yes. I'm loving how she is just like in her zone. She's being absolutely free and unapologetic.
What do y'all think about the folks are saying that she had to rebrand and make it sexy because sex sells? What do you think about that?
So I'll say this. She went through some changes in herself. She did start off, and her messaging was great. Her mother was a maid and she wore thrifted clothes, and so for her, she wanted to just do that as representation for her mom, so people didn't just look at her sexy. But you go through changes in your life. She went through that. She doesn't regret that time in her life. She went through a change in her life. Now she's able to look at her body and love it and be free from whatever she felt before. It doesn't mean that both parts of her can't be true, but you do go through life and you change. So don't say that what she was before is not something that she takes pride in, because she does. What she wear to her, or what she wore, how she looked, and now who she is right now is just who she is, and she takes pride in and what she's doing, and it's more self-love and body love. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some people do things for attention and for fun, and you can tell.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
But we can't always be the judge of that. But you can feel it, and we can say, "Hey, this is how I feel about that." Whatever. But she gives me genuine. Now, in that same breath, there are people who have to go sexy and augment their bodies in some way, shape, or form to get any recognition, to be seen, she doesn't care about the recognition from the world. She will continue to do what she's doing as her transition into whatever she wants to be. She doesn't care about the audience. She just cares about what makes her happy, truly happy. And if that's being sexy, that's being sexy. Lately, since I've gotten my boobs, I've been really out here just showing them off.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you go through a phase where it's like, okay, I want to be sexy. That doesn't make me less Christian. Doesn't make me less of a woman. It doesn't make me less of anything. But I feel like Janelle does it even when she shows her body. It's almost class. It's like, I don't know. It just gives classy.
It's classy, right? And you know what, Rebecca? I feel what you're saying, because when I tell you, I walked past the mirror yesterday with my shirt off, I get out the shower, I'm like, damn, boy, you look good as hell. Okay.
As you should.
Look.
As you should.
All right, let me get my little shimmy on right
Okay.
Shake.
Okay.
Listen, we have come to the end of the show, you guys. Listen, we're gonna do 10 o'clock a.m. on Saturdays. Ben will be in the house. Tuesdays, we're starting at 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. 9:30 a.m. Okay, so we're doing that. It's great.
And don't forget Thursday. She gonna leave me out. Beard Bonnet Chronicles. Come get some of this BBC.
Beard Bonnet Chronicles.
But
Beard Bonnet BBC. Beard Bonnet Chronicles.
That's a crazy acronym. It's Saturday. I'm about to get up and out and head. I don't even know where I'm about to go, but I'm about to be outside.
Chronicles.
I gotta go. I love y'all. Mean it, y'all. Have a good weekend. Shout out to all my Zoes. We out here in the field with my Zoes all day, every day. L'union fait la force. Tout va bien. N'a parlé. Mwah. Love you, mean it.
Please make sure, if you can, donate. Patrons, patreon.com/liking-or-not. Patreon.com/liking-or-not. If you want to give directly, Becca's Voice on Cash App, BPD 2018 on Cash App, and DJ X3C on Cash App and Venmo. Love y'all, mean it. Your affirmation for today is, let me get to it. I will spend the rest of my life trading smiles with my special someone. Oh, I think that's a crockable. Anywho, I will spend the rest of my life trading smiles with my special someone. Love y'all, mean it. We will see y'all on Tuesday. Beard Bonnet Chronicles, Thursday, 9:30 a.m. We'll see y'all next week, y'all. Have a good weekend. Deuces. I started out with the mic in my hand, and I graduated to a plethora of fans. I love bringing joy to the people. It makes me feel great, makes me feel regal. I do what I do for you. 8 p.m. Friday, you know how we do. Let's go. It's time for